Let me tell you, if you'd asked me 2 years ago where I'd be after coming home from the war, I never would have guessed I'd end up standing outside my own front gate, hands shaking, staring at a house that didn't feel like mine anymore. That's the kind of shock that slaps you awake even after surviving 730 days in the thick of it. You know what I mean? But nothing on the battlefield prepared me for the sight of my little girl tossed out back like she was yesterday's trash, or my wife, Julia, dressed in white, holding hands with a stranger like the past never happened. That's not the homecoming you see in the movies. I remember pushing open that old blue gate, the hinges groaning, grass up to my waist, every window tight shut, like the whole place was holding its breath. Not a sound, not even the bark of our old dog. All that noise inside my head, though, that was deafening. I knocked, 3 slow, heavy hits, nothing. Circled around the back, peered through Lily's bedroom window, that little purple curtain still hanging, but it was stiff with dust, not fluttering like before. No sign of life. I pulled out my phone, saw the screen say no signal, typical, after 2 years with no texts, no calls, no letters, only the mission and the memories. Thought maybe I was invisible. Then, just as I turned to leave, the neighbor's door creaked open. Penny, early 20s, kind eyes, she recognized me right away. "You're Ethan, right?" she asked, almost afraid. Turns out, she'd been renting next door for a year, and my place had been empty just as long. And Julia? Gone. Left Lily with her sister Clara and vanished without a trace. You could have knocked me over with a feather. Hearing that, Penny wrote me an address, Clara's new place. 36B, Maple Street, she said, if you're looking for your daughter. She told me Lily used to sit alone on Miss Clara's steps every night, clutching her teddy bear, waiting for a mother who never came. Man, I stood there for a minute, just listening to the wind, thinking, is this real? My heart was heavier than my old military pack. But I wasn't about to give up. I drove to that rundown apartment block, climbed those narrow stairs, knocked twice. No answer. Then I heard a faint shuffle, peeked inside, and there she was, my Lily, huddled under the table, arms around her one-eared teddy. "Daddy, did you come back for me?" she whispered. You ever hear something so soft it breaks you clean in half? She crawled out, no tears, no hurry, just looking at me like I might disappear if she blinked. I knelt, arms wide. For the first time in years, I held my little girl. And you want the truth? That's when I realized the worst was just beginning. Apartment 36B reeked of cigarettes and mildew. It was no place for a child. Kitchen was bare, moldy pizza on the counter, cereal box tipped over, not a fresh thing in sight. I found some instant noodles, made her a bowl, draped my jacket over her shoulders. She barely ate, just stared at her spoon. "What's your bear's name?" I asked. "Hushy," she mumbled. "Mommy named him. He helps me keep quiet when I'm sad." Kids don't make that up, you know. Door flies open, Clara barges in. I smeared with mascara, liquor bag in hand. "What the hell? Who's here?" she barked. I stood my ground. "I'm Lily's father." She laughed, mean and tired, tossed her bottle on the table. "Julia left the kid, said she'd come back, but I got my own life." She smoked, eyes half closed. "I didn't sign up for kids." I asked Lily if she wanted to come with me. She nodded, hope flickering like a dying candle. I told her, "I'm back, baby, and I'm not leaving again." Clara just waved me off. "Take her. Don't drag me into court." I didn't look back, just carried Lily out, her head on my shoulder, sleeping before we hit the street. But where do you go when you're back from war with nothing but a car and a kid? My house was gone. Hotels were too cold. Friends had moved on. Only one name came to mind, Thomas Lane, old army buddy, not much for words, but solid as they come. I called. He answered, "Jesus, Ethan, I thought you were dead." I told him, "I got Lily. Need a place to stay." No hesitation, 3rd floor. Doors unlocked. Thomas's place was clean but sparse. He watched TV while I put Lily to bed. "She looks like you," he said. I told him the truth. There's nowhere left to go. Julia disappeared. Clara just dumped Lily. Thomas leaned back, arms crossed, thinking. Julia used to have a private account. I helped her hide stuff after her last divorce. "Want to check?" He handed me his phone, still logged in. I didn't want to dig, but I needed to know why Lily suffered, why Julia vanished. On the account, Julia, in a white dress, smiling beside a new man. Caption, Almost time for something special. Photos, no mention of Lily. Painful, but clear. Suddenly I remembered Lily's teddy, left at Clarice. If she woke without it, she'd panic. Thomas said, "Be careful, Ethan. Something feels off." I went back, found the bunny by the table, heard Clara on the phone, talking to Julia. "Just say the ex died in the war. End of story." "Who'll know?" My chest went cold. I left quietly, didn't say a word. Back at Thomas's, I told him, "She didn't shoot me to leave me, she did it with silence." He opened his laptop, pulled up court records, birth certificates, my name crossed out, father. Unknown. Legal loopholes, all signed by county officials. We called the registrar. She refused to talk without a lawyer. Thomas looked at me. Something shady happened. I gripped that crumpled birth certificate and swore, "Lily may not need my name, but she'll know I never left her." Next morning, I dressed Lily for court. Simple dress, white ribbon. I bought a suit, tucked a custody petition in the inner pocket. At the same time, Julia was trying on a wedding dress in a luxury resort, looking perfect outside, breaking inside. Anonymous letters arrived. "Your daughter still waits for you." Pink hair clips, old drawings, a child's plea hidden in a crayon sketch. The wedding day, golden light in the chapel, guests murmuring, Mark Benson waiting up front, Julia trembling in white. Pastor asks, "Does anyone object?" I walked in, Lily by my side, one hand on her teddy, the other in mine. "I object," I said. You could hear a pin drop. I put DNA results and guardianship papers on the stand. "This little girl is ours," I told the room. Julia tried to deny it, said I died in the war. I stood my ground. "I never disappeared. You just erased me." Guests started leaving. Mark stormed out. Amanda, Julia's best friend, threw down her flowers and walked away barefoot. I didn't want revenge. I wanted Lily to see who her mother really was, just once in person. "You can leave me, Julia, but you can't abandon your own child." Then I asked Lily, "Ready to go home?" She nodded. We left, never looking back. That was the end of the wedding, the sound of a door closing, silence, broken only by the rain. In the months after, Lily and I settled in a small town by the coast, painted our little blue house together, planted lavender, made cookies. Mrs. Langford, her old teacher, visited. Lily started painting again pictures of us, no more gray smudges. I learned to stop waiting for happiness, started living instead. Penny, our neighbor, brought vanilla and mint for cookies, called herself Lily's brown-haired fairy. And Julia? She sat alone in a city apartment, wedding dress returned, ring never worn. She wrote letters, sent old hair ties and birthday cards, but Lily didn't need them anymore. She was done waiting for the past to knock at her door. Now, every sunrise, Lily and I walk the beach, leave 2 sets of footprints in the sand. She shouts, "I have a daddy now." And I realize, sometimes, you don't need forgiveness to move forward. Sometimes you just need the courage to begin again. So, well, what would you have done if you were Ethan? Would you forgive Julia if you were Lily? Can you ever really come back from walking away? Drop your thoughts below. Let's talk about what family, forgiveness, and real second chances mean to you. Because honestly, everyone deserves a place to be loved, even after all the storms.